Pensions has been in the news recently in the context of the autumn statement and what might emerge in relation to change to the way in which tax relief or incentivisation is given on pension contributions. Now, fiscal policy is determined generally by economic forecasts, which are largely pessimistic despite the pretty impressive performance of the markets to date, and also by political philosophy, which is undoubtedly more inclusive and potentially even redistributive. If you look at those factors, together with the fact that pensions tax relief costs over 30 billion a year, the chances of some change, whilst being in no way certain, are relatively high, it's thought. So let's have a look at what they could be. Now, if the government are looking at purely saving money, then a change to tax relief would look like very potentially the removal of higher rate tax relief. That wouldn't go down terribly, I don't think, with the population at large, and could save quite a bit of money without giving any more away. A better choice might be, some think, the introduction of a flat rate relief, a relief like, say, 30%. Now, that would be detrimental to higher rate taxpayers. They would see their relief cut back by 25% from 40 to 30, and very beneficial for basic rate taxpayers who would see their rate of relief go up from 20 to 30. Now, if that sort of relief were to be introduced, then it would also carry some cost, because if automatic enrolment is, auto-enrolment as it's known, is successful, and of course this new rate of tax relief is successful in driving more basic rate taxpayers to invest because of this extra 10% of relief, then the cost is expected to be largely neutral, i.e. you're not going to save much money, but it might well get the result that the relief was introduced for in the first place, to encourage more lower rate tax paying people to save more. Currently, over 70% of the tax relief goes to a very small number of the higher rate taxpayers. So there's some change in terms of the value that's driven from the spend, the quite extensive spend of money on pensions tax relief. So if that is desired, rather than purely saving money, we might see that emerge. If it does, there'll be some changes required to redress the balance between those who are employed, who will get their contributions paid directly by the employer, and therefore effectively continue to benefit from higher rate relief if they're higher rate taxpayers, but if they're basic rate taxpayers, not get the benefit of the extra 10%, and those who are self-employed who will see those changes directly. If you're a higher rate taxpayer, you make the contribution, you'll get a lower rate of relief. Basic rate taxpayer, you make the contribution, you'll get the higher rate of relief. So some sort of redressing of the balance, probably through the coding system, some way of getting the money back from the higher rate tax-paying employee and giving the money to the basic rate tax-paying employee. What does it mean right now to you, the financial planner? Well, it's at least worth having the conversation with your clients who might be affected by these potential changes, and I do stress potential. So what should you do? Maybe identify higher rate taxpayers with the wherewithal, the money to make an investment, and the capacity to make an investment, not caught by the annual or lifetime allowance, possibly having some unused relief from the past 3 years, and a desire to do something about pensions. It's just that they haven't got round to doing it yet. So with the possibility of this change, if they were going to do it anyway, it must make sense for them to at least consider doing it ahead of the autumn statement. And for basic rate taxpayers, they may be the opposite. It may be that if they feel they get a chance of getting a bit more relief, they might even decide to hold fire until after the autumn statement. Obviously, we will be covering the autumn statement in some detail when it's made, and following it up with the inevitable extra papers that we get along with the autumn statement. All of that on Techlink.